Hi, I'm Maud, and I'm going to lead you in a chair yoga practice today. I hope you enjoy it. I've been doing yoga for about 15 years, and 5 years ago started teaching a group of my friends chair yoga where I live, and I've really enjoyed it. With COVID, we've had to change this to a Zoom yoga, and I've found online yoga to be very beneficial in my yoga practice too. When you practice yoga, wear comfortable clothing and have a sturdy chair. And let's begin by sitting tall, hands in lap, eyes closed, and breathing deeply. Relax from head to toe. Let go of any tension. Try to be mindful. This means be in the present moment. Don't think about what went on yesterday or what you are going to do today. Be in the present moment. No guilt over the past or worry over the future. Shut your eyes and breathe deeply and slowly. Focus your breath and quiet your mind. A beautiful day begins with a beautiful mindset. When you wake up, take a second to think about what a privilege it is to simply be alive and healthy. The moment you start acting like life is a blessing, I assure you it will start to feel like one. The greatest source of happiness is the ability to be grateful at all times. This is by the Buddha. When you do a pose, back off a bit if you feel pain or pinching. Remember, yoga is about you. It is not competitive. It doesn't matter how well you do the pose. With time, you will certainly get better. Let's start by doing head rolls. So we're just going to make big circles, looking up and looking down. And one more, and then reverse the direction. And one more, and then come back to center. Now we're going to do a pose where we put our hands on our shoulders and we curl our back and go forward, touch your elbows if you're able to, and then lift up and look at the sky and back with your elbows together. Just do this slowly. The way our back is moving is called cat-cow. So we look up, we look down. Down is cat, up is cow. And a couple of more of those. And back down. And generally when you do a pose like this one, when you look up, you breathe in. When you look down, you breathe out. Now let's do a forward fold. So I like to slide a little bit forward on my chair. And we're going to go down, but one hand at a time. So the right hand goes down and the left hand goes up. And according to your flexibility, you may get your hands way down or they may just reach toward the floor. But each individual is different, and so is our flexibility. So we'll just hold this for a few seconds. And then back up. Let's do it on the other side. And don't forget to breathe. Sometimes if a pose is difficult, we tend to hold our breath, but always keep breathing. Let's do one on each side. Repeat. So now our right hand is down. We're looking up. The other side. And back up to center. And I may say, as far as left and right goes, if you just do them on both sides, it doesn't matter if you're doing right when I'm doing right. Whatever works for you. Because it's kind of hard, because when you're looking at me, it looks like this is my left hand because it's your left hand. Okay, now let's do a tricep stretch. So we bend our right arm and try to get it down your back as much as you can, and then you can get your left hand and push a little bit on that elbow to get a deeper stretch. Let's try it on the other side. And I can really tell on my left side, I am not quite as flexible when I do this, and that's normal. The flexibility may vary from left to right and right to left. And now let's do a figure 4. So we take our right foot and put our right ankle on top of our left thigh. And if I were standing up, you could see how this is a 4, but it's a sitting down figure 4. And then if you want to put a little pressure on your right knee, just to open up that hip a little bit. And then if you like, you can lean forward. And then I'm really getting a good stretch in that hamstring when I lean forward. And then back up. Repeat on the other side. So ideally this leg would be parallel to the floor, but my knee's a little bit up. This is my less flexible side. So if you want to, you can go down like this. Just hold that for a bit. And then let's come back. I noticed that once I do it, the next time I do it, I might get down a little further. So I'm going to try it again. Back to the right side. And then just lean forward. I would try to keep my back straight and not hunch over to get the maximum stretch from this. Then we come back up again, and the last side. stand back up again. And we'll do a forward fold. It will help if you move to the front of your chair so your feet are apart. And there are lots of different things you can do. If you're not too flexible in this position, maybe you'll just get your fingers down toward the floor, or the fingers may touch the floor. And we have some very flexible people in our class that can get their palms on the floor and even put their hands through their legs with their palms on the floor. And then you hang your head heavy. And two other poses that you can do in this forward fold. I believe this one is called gorilla. So you just grab your two big toes with your fingers, and that helps you to pull down. And now we're going to do some standing poses. I'd like to start on the right-hand side of the chair. And a classic pose in yoga is tree pose. So you can put your toe on the floor like this, or you can put it on your calf, or you can take your ankle and lift it so it's on the thigh. But you generally try to avoid putting it on your knee because that puts stress on the knee. And then you move the knee back a little bit, and this is a tree. So if you feel like it, you can take your hand off. But this is only if you feel good. Then if you start to wobble a little bit, there's your chair to give you some support. And you can even try putting your hand in prayer pose. And next is downward facing dog. So we're going to put our hands on the left side of the chair, walk back, look between our arms, and you'll feel a really good stretch in the back of your arms and in your hamstrings, which is the back of your thighs. And breathe deeply. Next is spinal balance. So you step your feet back in, and your right arm goes out, your left leg goes back. I'm kicking the table. There, I did it. And then you balance. And I've had a lot of physical therapy for my back, and this is one they always do is spinal balance. And if you start to kind of shake a little bit, that means that your muscles are growing, they're getting stronger. Okay, this next pose is one that my husband invented. I was sick and he took over the chair yoga class and he invented this pose. It's called the spiral nebula. So you bring your leg out, and you're going to start with big circles. And then make them a little smaller, smaller, smaller. And then we're going to get bigger again. And smaller. And let's do one last round of bigger and smaller. Now we're going to do up, out, back, which is a little tricky when you first try it, but I like those 3 words. They help me remember what to do. So first, up with our leg and our arm, then out, then back. Up, out, back. Up, out, back. Up, out, back. Up, out, back. The next one we will hold. Up, out, and hold. If you want to, you can take your fingers off the chair. This is warrior 3, or you can leave them on the chair, whichever you like. Very good. Our last on the right side will be falling star. So we put our arms out and our big space between our feet. This makes the 5 points of the star. And then we just tip over, lift up that right leg, and you can look up toward the ceiling or the sky. And just hold this for a minute. And if you want, you can take your hand off the chair. First time I tried that didn't work too well, but that's always an option. Let's go to the other side of the chair now and do tree pose. You remember you can put your toes on the floor, on your calf, avoid your knee, or else you can lift your foot up and put it on your thigh. And then just hold it. If you feel like it, you can lift your hand off. This is a little more challenging, but if you start to kind of lose your balance, that chair is right there to get a hold of. You can also put your hands to prayer. Beautiful. And now let's do downward facing dog. Hands are on the right side of the chair. Move the feet back. So what we're trying to do is make our body like a V. And our head goes through our arms and looks at our legs. This gives an excellent stretch in the back of the arms and in the back of the legs. And the benefit from the pose is from holding it. We could go through all these poses in a very short period of time, but you wouldn't get the benefit that you do by holding them. And next we'll do the spinal balance. This time the left hand goes forward, an arm, and right leg. The goal is to try to get the arm and leg parallel to the floor. And this is so good for people with back problems like me. And don't forget to breathe. Now we're going to repeat spiral nebula on the left side. And you bring the left leg out. Make big circles. And then make them smaller, smaller, smaller. Then increase the size again. Bigger, 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 and smaller, 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 and one last big as you can get it. And now up, out, back. So you remember it's up, out, back. 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 The next one we will hold. Up, out, back. And if you want, you can take your hand off the chair. This is warrior 3 with airplane arms. And then down. And our last standing pose, we make our body like a star. Then we lean over to the side. So this is why it's a fallen star. Look up. And then come back. And now let's do a neck stretch. This also works on your tricep. So I've got my right hand on my left ear and I'm rotating my head. If you want to, you can do a bind. You can put your hand behind the chair and that even increases the twist. So I'm looking to the left. Then hold it for a bit. Okay, let's do the other direction. So this time the left hand. And then if you want, you can bind the right arm. I'm looking over to the right. And then back to center. Let's put our arms out to the sides like a T, and then you can clench your fist. And we're going to go forward and give yourself a big hug. And then out. The next time, the other arm is on top. Inhale. Exhale. One more each direction. Now, lift our legs. If you can, get them parallel to the floor, but try to get your heels off the floor. And this will strengthen your core, and a strong core helps with back problems too. So I'm just going to crisscross my legs. So I'll go out, then I'll go over with the left, out, over with the right, and just alternate back and forth between right on top and left on top. And one more each side. Now we'll do Rapture Bird. Remember, arms out, rotate the palms up, and then rotate the wrists so they're up again. It was invented by a yoga teacher who'd been to Australia and saw a bird called the Rapture Bird, and she felt like this movement was like the Rapture Bird flying, I guess. And then you can flex your hands, make circles. I'm going forward. And then reverse directions. Now let's do our ankles. So I like to lift my heels off the floor for this, and you know what we do. We do a flex and extend. Flex, extend. Flex, extend. Flex, extend. Flex, extend. And then we can alternate. We can do windshield wipers. And we can do circles. In reverse direction. Now we'll do a forward fold. So move up a little on your chair. At the end, I like to put my feet together, my ankles together, and this makes it a little more difficult to get down as far. So you may be on your fingertips. You may have your palms down, but let your head hang heavy. You can put your palms behind. Just hang your head heavy and relax. And now let's prepare for Shavasana. So you slide the hips toward the front of the chair. The palms are on the thighs facing upward. Lean back, feet extended on the floor. Close your eyes. Relax your arms. Relax your fingers. Relax your legs. Relax your toes. Relax your whole body. Breathe deeply. Be in the present moment, not the past, not what you are going to do when this practice is over. If you wish, have a meditation of gratitude. Think of the people you are grateful for. Think of blessings you are grateful for. Thank yourself for taking time out of your day to do this practice. Let your storm subside. Watch the pounding surf. Watch the waves lap against the shore, their beginnings somewhere far out to sea, their beginnings in a storm we may never see. Know your oneness with those waves, with the water of the seas. Your emotions are like the surf. Sometimes they pound gently, sometimes fiercely. Sometimes the color is blue, sometimes gray. They may be the result of a storm, sometimes a squall far away. Let them pound. Let them pass through. Let them subside. Let them turn into the next wave. Each emotion is connected to a belief embedded in your soul. Let the emotions pass through. Feel all you need to feel. Say all you need to say to let the storm subside. Then pause. Wait. Rest. Let your body regroup and heal. You will have grown. You will have changed. And you'll be on your way to learning something new. This is by Melanie Beatty. Slowly awaken, wiggle your hands and feet, open your eyes, sit up, bring your hands to prayer pose. In India, when people meet and part, they say Namaste, which means, I honor the place in you where the entire universe resides. I honor the place in you of love, of light, of truth, of peace. I bow to the brilliant light in you, which is the same light as is in me. Namaste. Thank you so much for being with me. This has been a real experience. We've had a lot of interruptions, and I hope it will help you with practice. I think Lisa and I will get better. But I love you all, and have a wonderful 4th of July.